Hi guys, my name's Clam of Joe. Don't know if the stream's live yet. Hi guys, my name's Clam of Joe. Welcome back to a new YouTube live stream on the Clam of Joe YouTube channel. Today we are live on My Ideas World. And I thought we'd do it again. I thought I had so much fun on yesterday's stream building a mini game. So I've decided that we will build another today. We've decided to build another today. Just going to put this in my Discord server that the stream is live. I'm going to put it here, so there we go. Hello Cookies Game, hello Pixel King, welcome to the stream. Hello Climate of Jar. Climate of Jar, I like that. Climate of Jar. We're on My Ideas World, so I thought we'd come have a look at some builds that we could potentially build today on today's stream. It's a slightly later stream. I did go on a walk, guys, because I've walked every day this month so far. It's seven days of April. I've gone on a walk for 7 days. It's pretty good. Didn't know in Iceland about 13 of them. I didn't know that. Well, I thought we might build this. This is a badminton court. This is a badminton court, and we're going to have to do a bit of redstone trickery for it. But I thought we'd have a look quickly and see if we can find some cool mediums. This is going to be built at Christmas time. I tried to design it for a video last Christmas, but I couldn't get the shape right for the gingerbread house. This was design 1, then we did design 2, 3, 4. We did design 5, 6, design 7. And then we did design 8. Which design... Oh my holy god. Devise. I keep seeing these goers take one of these characters from a movie from my intro and make do weird stuff. I want to cry. Yeah. Oh shoot. Interesting. Oh my god, guys, this was going to be a mini game years ago. This was going to be a mini game a few years ago. This was designed like 10 years ago. This was designed like 10 years ago to be a mini game. I cannot remember what the rules were. I hope you are well. I am really well. How are you? Welcome to the stream, Skatepunk. Welcome to the stream, Clara Sophia. Welcome to the stream. Well, actually, we just better zoom down a minute, guys. I've got to see which way that block is. This is a mini game idea I built a design years ago. I've got to remember what it is first. So we need to land on this slime block, and we had to land on this slime block, and the idea was how far you went and how many points you got. But why don't we try this with why don't we try this with chorus for a second? Pretty cool. Thank you. Oh. We want to build a mini game, guys. We want to build a mini game. So this was golf. This was designed to be golf. So hello, slime and fur critters. Welcome to the stream. This was designed to be a golf thing, guys. I hate its songs. I don't know. It's only weird if you think it's weird. I had a mini game that I like golf. Yeah, I want to make a mini game with golf. That's the plan. I'm just trying to find what I was looking at. What's the QR code for? Is cooking new? Is Cookie new? No. Cookie's been in the stream some months, therefore. The QR code, Slime and Fur Critters, is for a book that I published about a week and a half ago. That was meant to be a zoo idea. Hello, John, David, Gimez Sanchez. Welcome to the stream. I'm a Steve guy. How are you today, Duffel, by the way? Yeah, I can understand what you meant, Pixel King. I've seen videos of people editing Doctor Who to saying really weird stuff. But then it's a bit different with Doctor Who generally does say some weird stuff. I'm not called Duffel. I'm not light and I don't glow. I never said you did. I meant light as in a different term for the word light. Never watched Doctor Who before. Doctor Who is a great show, guys. Doctor Who's a great show. Have you guys ever heard of A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? What's my favourite season? Well, I was born in winter time, so I love winter because obviously I love it when it's snowing and all that. But I do like summer. I do like summer. You know, when you can be outside, it's warm. A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The guy that wrote A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy wrote Doctor Who episodes in the 70s. A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a really famous film and a novel series. A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was from his disused Doctor Who scripts. What? This is a Nintendo Switch. This is the Nintendo Switch version. This is Nintendo Switch version of 4J Studios' Minecraft version. Favourite thing, obviously in winter, obviously, you know, snowball fights and stuff. But I love ocean stuff. I love being on the beach. I love walking across the beach. Kicking a football on the sand. I will also admit, I just love the warmth of summer. Hello Rick, welcome to the stream. But yeah guys, in summer, I love the summer because I love the warmth of summer. Hello, welcome back SDN, welcome back. I'm just trying to find something that I've lost. I kind of like that, guys. I kind of like this. Furnaces. Maybe we'll make a little room like that. We're just looking around my ideas war for builds. You're sure because of school? That's alright. My favourite is summer too. Did I accidentally destroy that minecart? No, it's still there. Come on. There you go. He's going to go around now. Look. Why does he get stuck there then? That's so weird. He's alright. I can't remember what this was for. I can't join your PvP world because this is Legacy Console Edition. You sure right now? Leave the game, sell me your menu or your console. I want to check your ads, rewind to me. What? That makes no sense. No, this is not 360. Told you it's the 4J Stu. I told you it's the Switch version. There we go. Duffel, you can't just call other people fat in the chat. Especially someone that hasn't been on the stream in a while. Are you drunk? Was that villager a nitwit? Yeah. The villager was a nitwit. Because I just spawned a random villager in. I spawned a random villager in with the villager thing. So right now we've spawned a leather worker. It's Bob. It's Bob the villager. Bob the villager is a leather worker on my survival world. This is designed. This was my library, guys. This is my library on my survival world. I designed it on here. I kind of like this, actually. I kind of like this house. Am I drunk? Fortunately, I'm not, because I don't drink. I like and sub. Thank you, Shannon McGregor. You know... Oh, you're talking about the source code? No, that wasn't 360, Landon. That was the PS3 edition. That was a PS3 edition. Would you rather hunt or fish? I don't know, fish probably. My favourite Minecraft add-on, can't really tell you that because I don't really use add-ons that much. I hunt squirrels every season. Interesting. I'm on chapter 6 now. Chapter 6 is crazy. Chapter 6 is absolutely crazy. Not kidding, you made every page, really. Yeah, this is not, but because this is not that code, Landon. This is actual Legacy Console Edition. I'm playing actual Legacy Console Edition. I'm playing the version I've had for years. My favourite animal is an elephant. Thank you, Skatepunk. That's really kind of you. But that's what I intend to do. That's what I intend to do with stores. And I remember your comments. Why an elephant? Just because I love elephants. They're my favourite animal in the world. I remember your comments about actually Skatepunk about how it does sound like it was British. It does come across as a British story. I remember your comment about that. I like turtle frogs. Look at that. Cool. That's just done on that. That was the intention. That was the intention with everything I've wrote, guys. With every book I write, I always intend to make it based in Britain. Don't ignore me. I didn't ignore you. Read me. I didn't ignore you. I read out your comment. I didn't ignore you. I didn't really ignore you. I read out your comment, but I read your comment, but I didn't read it out loud. That's my intention to, if every time I write a book, authentic British person. There's no such thing as an authentic British person though, because even if somebody that came from another country can be authentically British. Authentic British is whatever you make it, to be honest. Oh, pardon me. That's what I remember this, guys. You know that monument to celebrate 4,000 subscribers? Awesome burp. I hear it every... Yeah, I can't help burping, guys. I do apologise. But that was my intention with my books, guys. My intention was... It's totally British. But that's because it pisses me off if I see a... It pisses me off. I make it exclusively British. Do you have a favourite movie? I don't. I don't have a favourite film, to be honest. And I'm going to be honest, guys. It pisses me off when I see a British story adapted into and not based in Britain. So I made every book I write exclusively British. What about the Minecraft movie? The Minecraft movie is not a good film, guys. The Minecraft movie was a shit film. The Minecraft movie was only commercially successful because lots of children were willing to go see it because it was Minecraft. The Minecraft movie was a terribly made film. I watched it the other night off Sky just because it was on, and I stand by my decision, guys. I've watched it 3 times and I still think it was shit. It's a good, it's a good film to watch. For example, as a Minecraft fan, it's a good film. But as a guy that studied film production, it's a shit film. The storyline it doesn't make sense. They should have just done it. Would you like a jelly, baby? That's a line from Doctor Who. That's a line from Doctor Who. Would you like a jelly, baby? Tom Baker likes jelly baby, so always had him in his pocket when he was a doctor. I gotta be honest, and I wouldn't want to go political, guys, which I'm not going to. But that did scare me as well. That did scare me as well when I read that. I was on a walk in the woods and I saw that and I thought, and I did think that sounded really like dangerous. Well, not like very dangerous, but it's very extreme. But it takes me back. Something was said in the Second World War, which was kind of similar. During when there was the bombings of London during the Second World War, the German leader said something closely similar about for every bomb dropped on Britain. Yeah, they're not going to nuke it. They're not going to nuke it because that's just brain dead if you nuke something. I think they never taken over the overworld a bit too much. It's not that. Microsoft's got nothing to do with it. Microsoft's got nothing to do with the film. It was Warner Brothers that made the film. Warner Brothers made the film, so because you own the video game doesn't give you any control over the film. For example, if somebody was to come to me and want to adapt one of my books into a film, I would have no say over that. The only thing I could say was I want the cast 100% British. I can't see that because that would be dangerous. But no, what I meant is that there was something said in the Second World War about British cities which was kind of similar. And I think it was for if Britain sends 1,000 bombs, 100 bombers to Germany, Germany would send 10,000 to Britain, and if Britain could damage one German city, the Germans would wipe the British cities off the face of the earth. So when I heard that on the news earlier on, I thought I kind of thought it sounded a little similar, but yeah, we're not going to get political, guys, but but based on what you said, yeah, it did sound a bit. I'm going off topic. It's alright, you don't have to. We never have a topic on these streams. We never have. No, well, Jeb's got nothing to do with it, Dr. FFFIFU. Jeb's got nothing to do with it. Just because you make a video game doesn't mean that you know anything about film. The only person on this stream that knows something about film, well, me, and, well, Skatepunk likes film, so he might know quite a bit about film. But yeah, just because you make Minecraft doesn't give you any control over the film. Sorry, I can't help it. I can't help the burp. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, on the book thing. But favourite book. Because you don't have a favourite movie. I don't have a favourite movie because I love so many films. He would have had an association with the film, like all the Minecraft workers would have done it. But they had no say over the film. But I didn't get a degree yet. That's alright. But you know something about film. That's why I mentioned it. The reason why I mentioned that, Skatepunk, is because... Sorry for bringing up politics. It's alright. It's alright. That's the problem with politics nowadays, though, everyone. It's so divided. It's so divided. Oh, pardon me. What about a favourite book, though? Yeah, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. So, I don't have a favourite film because I like so many films. Favourite book? Well, obviously, logic would dictate Lord of the Rings is one of my favourites. I haven't really got a favourite book, but Lord of the Rings is one of my favourite books. For example, The Hobbit is one of my favourites. In fact, well, I've read most of the Harry Potter books as well. But yeah, I don't have a favourite book, really. One of my favourite... It depends what book we're talking about. One of my favourite books of all time... One of my... Read me. I can't read you because you're not a book, I'm afraid. I'm just going to eat a cupcake, guys. I've got some cupcakes on the table. I like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, greatest fictional story ever made. I am so sorry about the burps, guys. I went on a 5-mile walk before this stream. So I've walked almost... I've gone on a walk every day this week. Every day this month. I've walked I've done 70,000 steps. So I've done the equivalent of 10,000 steps every day. Better than stars. Well, I'm talking about the novel, though, to be honest. Lord of the Rings was a book beforehand. Lord of the Rings is the greatest novel of all time. I mean, it took him 17 years to write. Star Wars is great, but George Lucas is a terrible dialogue writer. How many calories did I lose? I don't know. Where's my phone? That's behind me. Probably not that many. But, you know. I love Star Wars. Yeah, I love Star Wars, but George Lucas was a shit dialogue writer. And most of the actors didn't like the dialogue. Harrison Ford confirmed he told George Lucas to actually speak the lines that he's saying, because nobody talks the way that he wrote the dialogue. But Star Wars is a great film. But we only have Star Wars because he couldn't get the rights to Flash Gordon. Because Star Wars was basically him creating his own version of Flash Gordon. Oh, 558 calories. Which Star Wars movie is my favourite? The last movie was trash. Well, the sequel trilogy was trash. The sequel trilogy was trash because they wung it. Empire Strikes Back and New Hope are great, but I really like Rogue One. Rogue One is amazing because Rogue One literally is taken from the first lines of Star Wars, boffins have won their first major battle. The prequels are alright, but the prequels are alright. Not the best dialogue. I am the Doctor. Well, actually, ironically though, the director of Rogue One is related to my dentist. Is related to my optician. So I'm having my eyes tested. I'm having my eyes tested. I'm generally having my eyes tested, and because I need glasses, guys. You know, my eyesight's much better than it used to be, but I had to have glasses since I was like 4 years old, so I've had to have glasses for like, I don't know, 19, 20 years. And one day I'm having my glasses tested, and he goes, "Oh." One day I'm having my glasses tested, and my optician goes, I'm having my eyes tested, and my optician goes, "Oh, so you're studying film?" "Oh, my cousin did that. He's just directed a film called Rogue One." And I'm like, okay. Yes, I do know who Cassio is. Neutron is like a snack for Joe. Hobbit or Lord of the Rings? Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, my optician is related to the guy that directed Rogue One. Yeah, so Rogue One is a great film. But I said I really like Gareth Edwards, who directed it. I really like his work. His Godzilla film is great. Is great. Rogue One is amazing, and then I really liked his other film, The Creator. He did a film called The Creator, which is basically an amazing film. I've got it on 4K, guys. It's an amazing film. The only problem with it, the last 10 minutes, there should have been an extra like 25 minutes. King Kong or Godzilla? Well, Godzilla's a great film. I like Kong Skull Island, but I also like Peter Jackson's King Kong film. That's pretty good. I just like film, guys. I just like film. So, for example, I watched Project Hail Mary 2 weeks ago. I absolutely loved it. I didn't realise it at the time, though, that it was also wrote by the same guy that wrote The Martian. And I also really, ironically, I also really loved The Martian when that came out. So I found out it was a book. So I ordered, as soon as I came out of the cinema after watching Project Hail Mary, I bought the book straight away because I really enjoyed it. Joe is the Doctor. I wish I was the Doctor. I wish I could regenerate my face. Guys, watch Doctor Who. Doctor Who is one of the best science fiction shows of all time. I did respond. I read it out. I read your comment, but you keep commenting the same thing. So I had read it out. It's only in the UK, mate. No, it's not only in the UK. FFFU, it's everywhere. Doctor Who airs in America. It airs everywhere. It's not only in the UK. It's a British show, but it don't air in the UK. I didn't hear. Hello, BDR. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Disney is expensive. No, it's not on Disney. Well, it was on Disney for a bit, but it's not. It's not on Disney. You can find Doctor Who anywhere. You can find DVDs. You can find all the seasons on DVD for like a tenner. You can buy all 4 seasons of you can buy all the first 4 seasons of the revived era for like £5 on a box set. It's a great show, guys. Great show. You can find it digitally, but that show was... Is it the classic? No. Well, you can find the classic on... Well, both eras. I've got to go by. Have a good rest of your day, Maverick Shepherd. Have a good rest of your day. You can find the classic era on DVD as well, but the new era of Doctor Who, you can buy that on DVD for like a £5. Ooh, pardon me. Great show though. I need to do a video talking about my favourite Doctor Who episode, shouldn't I? I should do a video talking about my favourite Doctor Who episodes on my podcast channel. The episode I'd love to do would be on the waters of Mars, which generally scared me as a 7-year-old. But now I look back, it's one of the greatest and darkest episodes of all time. That's the only time in Doctor Who's history that the Doctor briefly became a tyrant. There's an episode of Doctor Who, guys, where basically the Doctor, who's a time traveller, decides to change the course of history. And because he breaks all the rules of time, he basically vows that he is not... he basically decides to become a god. Because he could go back, you know... He could go back, you know, he could stop the Second World War. He can go back in time and stop the Romans invading Britain 2,000 years ago. He could stop, you know, he could stop aliens attacking Earth. And that's a very dangerous... There's a very episode where he briefly considers becoming near godlike and becoming a ruler. Doctor Who is 62 years old. 63, actually. Nearly 63. But yeah. Well, it's not... It's 63 years old. But... I want to know how that works. The series is older than us. Well, yeah, it is. But that's the whole point. The whole point is it's a show that can continue to go on forever. That's the whole point. You make stuff to last. That's the whole thing. You make stuff to last. Doctor Who is a show that can go on forever. But also, as well, it's kind of like your... It's kind of like those police shows you see in America, you know. They change the cast. They can constantly go... And they can constantly go and, you know... And make more. Make more seasons. Like, you could do a series right now, like... You could do a series right now called I Don't Know. I contemplated writing a book called something PD. I contemplated writing a story called something PD, and it's changing better than ever. Well, yeah, that's the whole point, because they go, well, sometimes they go for like a well-established actor. So, for example, Christopher Eccleston, who played the Doctor in 2005, was quite a well-established actor. And then when he left, they brought in David Tennant, which David Tennant wasn't as well known back then. He's probably more famous than Christopher Eccleston now. But David Tennant's Doctor David Tennant as an actor wasn't really well known then. The same with Matt Smith. Matt Smith took the role. When Matt Smith got the role, he was 26. He was only... His career was... He was really at the start, quite at the start of his career. Jodie Whittaker wasn't exactly that famous when she played the Doctor. She was in some stuff. The next one, Peter Capaldi was the 13th Doctor. Peter Capaldi was well known because he'd been in some stuff like The Thick of It. He was in the comedy show The Thick of It. He was in the Mr. Bean film. Goodbye for now. Goodbye, SDN. Thank you for watching the live stream, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Peter Capaldi, obviously he went on to play The Thick of It. It's a comedy series. I'm not talking about the KSI song. The KSI song is named The Thick of It because The Thick of It is a genuine saying. If you're in the thick of it, it means that you're basically in amongst it. So if you're in a crisis, you're in it. I'm trapped in the thick of it. Is it the song? No, it's a TV show. The Thick of It is not... The name of the song is because it's basically a saying. The reason KSI used that title was because he was embroiled in a controversy. So he did a song about how he was in the thick of the controversy. Yeah, The Thick of It is a TV show. Here, if you put The Thick of It in, it don't come up with a KSI song. It comes up with a British comedy series from 2005. The Thick of It satirises the inner workings of the modern British government. It focuses on the official Department of Social Affairs, the fictitious Department of Social Affairs and Citizenship, a rather broad title that allows many political themes and viewpoints to be introduced. But yeah, it's a comedy series. The department is run by an appointed minister, one who of course is depicted as a bumbling, overmatched and out of touch with the public. But yeah, it was a comedy series. Okay. Give me a moment. My God, he said he's going to kill us all. No, he's saying he was going to kill himself. Basically, Duffel said yesterday about his 10-week-old daughter had died. So I believe he's actually struggling with that. So I believe he's having like a mental episode because he's struggling with that. I don't think Duffel would have commented that otherwise. That's why I tried to give him some sort of leniency today. But I'm not tolerating that. But I'm not tolerating some of the things he just said there in that Discord server. I understand if you're struggling mentally, but you can't just take it out on other people. No, I mean, he got a daughter and he said he's going to kill himself. No, he hasn't got a daughter anymore. That's... Hello, Duffel. Duffel, I had to ban you then. But... You can't... I understand how sad and how you've had a really rough time. You can't... But you can't take it out on other people. Do you think violent games and violent films can make people become violent? I believe it plays a part. I believe it plays a part. You become decentralized to it, if you get what I mean. You become decentralized to it. So if kids are playing violent video games, who's to say they think it's not? They start thinking it's normal. Like we had someone yesterday that was a little bit suicidal. But and they said, "I'll see you in my next life." And I said to them, "But life isn't a video game." I don't think so, FFFIFU. You know, life is not like a video game, guys. You know, you don't come back. And you know, life is not like a video game. Like, you've got one life. You don't come back. You don't get revived. And now I think people are starting to think that, oh well, he'll just revive. He's not dead. He'll just get revived. Milking sounds and things. Yeah, well, people milk things for views. Somebody told me that I was milking Legacy Console Edition content, which kind of true, kind of right. Some believe in reincarnation. Yeah. The reincarnation, yeah. But there are cases. Somebody actually said that. Do you mean me? Well, no, I'm not referring to you in general. Well, I referred to you in general when you said about you were going to end yourself yesterday. That's true, Pixel King. That is true. That I can mod your server is crazy. Well, hello, it's Vamps. Joe Mama, thank you. What was I going to say? At any expense. That's what I think is wrong. I reckon that's scamming, though. I reckon that's scamming. Like, I will admit, guys, so if I was bored of Legacy Console Edition content, then I wouldn't shoot it. But some people force themselves to shoot stuff because they know it gets views. And that's where I think it's just, like, why? If you get what I mean. Like, I do this because I love it. It's like when I have people telling me what to do. So like the guy that we had earlier on, Landan. What you're going to do after the stream, you're going to do this. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to do any of that. You know, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my mother, and also my mother has no say in what I can do because I'm over the age of 18. But yeah, how is everybody on this stream today? Yeah, I never answered your question, Skatepunk, about my about why I based my novels in Britain. I base all my novels in Britain because I hate it. When I read science fiction stories now, I always find them they're always based in America. They're always based in America. They're always based in America, and I can't tell you the last story I found that was based in the UK. And as much as I love science fiction stories, guys, I would love to see more stuff come out of the UK. So, for example, that's why I based the Dollmaker in Britain, guys, because I am British. I know a lot of stuff about Britain. I can't base something. I can probably base something in America. I could probably base something in America. I can probably base a book in America because I know a lot of American history. I probably know more American history than some of you guys in the stream, to be honest. Which is, you know, quite kind of funny. So I'm going to put all this in here a minute, and we're going to test that minigame we built yesterday. We built this minigame yesterday. We built this minigame right here. It's called Watch Your Step, and the whole aim is we've got to do the hop pop. And we can turn the lights on now, but now we've got to go back. Now we've got to hop, 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 we've got to hop. And we can do it. So, but the whole aim though, guys, is not to fall down. But like we just did there. The whole aim is not to fall down. Don't this look cool? Joe, let me back in the Discord. I'm not Duffel. I can't let you back in that Discord because you did just... You were... I allowed you back into my Discord server. And then you put in comments about telling Decepted that you did Decepted's mum. And you telling everyone to fuck off. He goes, there's people in there who were like 14, 15. I physically can't let you back in there. I gave you another chance in it, but you blew it. I don't care, okay. But then you obviously do care though, Duffel. You obviously do care because you want to be added. You want me to add you back. So somewhere on the lines there you do care. Well, no. FFFU. Duffel's gone for a rough time, and I understand that, but he can't take it out on other people. Let's just shove all this in here a second. Ah, got cramp. Yeah, to answer the question, guys, all my books are based in the UK because I'm British, and I love being. She's not your ex, Duffel. She's still your family. Not alive anymore. I know, but that doesn't count as being an ex. That's still a person. So they're still your daughter. Yeah, I'm really sorry for what's happened there. Yeah, to answer your question, Skatepunk, sorry. Yeah, it was all based in Britain because I'm British, and I love basing my books in my. Why is my computer playing up? I'm not going to mute him, Duffel, because he's just raising a point from what you said. He's just raising a point what you said. He hasn't actually said anything wrong. It's just at the moment that you've misunderstood what he said, and you're reacting quite heavily to it. Just get back to the game. Yeah. Let me just sort something out a second. My computer is shit, guys. I love my computer, but whenever I'm trying to do something, the scroller doesn't work properly. I'm trying to scroll down a second and it's just... Welcome, Fred Flo. Welcome to the stream. How was my Easter break? I haven't had an Easter break. As an American, it's called to read a British story. Yeah, I mean, in a way, it shows what people do in other countries. That's something that I did actually. That's something I did with Dawn of Planets. When I wrote Dawn of Planets, there's a general election in book 3, so that's how we vote for the next Prime Minister. But I sort of went quite into detail about how the general election works. Because of that. Because I knew other people from other countries would be watching it. The general election in the Dawn of Planet story, I sort of went into detail about how the UK Prime Minister gets elected. That was something that I took very, very... That was something I took very, very seriously in writing my book. Oh my god, my mouse is just... My controller doesn't work properly, guys. America were a part of the UK. Well, no, they were never a part of the UK. They were part of the British Empire. But also, therefore, you know, Dr. Fifu didn't know. But also, however how upset or sad and you know mad you are, you can't take out on other people. He goes, that's a dangerous precedent if you're taking your sadness and your grief out on other people. America were never part of the UK. They were part of the British Empire. All the colonies that were part of the British Empire were never... I messaged in on Discord. Yeah, but your message on Discord was just telling everyone to go fuck themselves. Right. What was I going to say, guys? I was going to say something. But yeah, so with Dawn of Planets, that was the intention, to try to teach people a little bit. It was a really cool idea. Because everything's done completely differently. So, for example, with America, they do it by electoral college. However many electoral college points they get, electoral college votes they get, that's who becomes the US president. In the UK, it's however many seats they get. So, to have a majority in the British Parliament, you need 326 seats. If both sides get 326, it means that it's a, well, if no political party gets, in the UK, if no political party gets a majority, it's what's known as a hung parliament, and that they've got to go and do deals with other political parties to get a support to get over the 320. It happened in 2010, so the British Conservative Party leader only got 306. So could have been 303. The British Conservative leader only got 306 seats, so he had to do a deal with the Liberal Democratic Party to be able to get over the 326 line. Obviously, it didn't happen in the last election because one party picked up over 400 seats. But yeah, I sort of wrote in the book about how it works. But I can tell you guys that it was a landslide. Oh, I need to zoom out my page a second, guys. I need to refresh my screen a sec. I don't know if any more of your comments has appeared. Basically, my screen had mucked up. Yeah, but I keep losing half my screen. I just changed my profile. Cool. Hello, Alex to One Call. Welcome to the stream. Oh, pardon me. Just burp, guys. That's bad. But yeah, yeah, guys, so I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about some other stories that I might work on this year. I'm currently working on Dawn of Planets Book 5. Book 5 will probably be... I've just planned Dawn of Planets Book 5. I've just worked on Dawn of Planets Book 5. And it's going to be 27 chapters. It's going to be 27 chapters. Yeah, it's going to be 27. The book is going to be at least 27 chapters from my plans. You should just start writing a movie. Well, you can... Writing a movie is a bit different. Writing a movie, you just write the story. You don't write anything about... Writing a movie, you don't write dialogue or anything like that. You just... when you're writing a screenplay for a movie, you don't write this. That's not the script. The story... The story is completely different to the screenplay. The story is just what happens. That is kind of scary, Skate Punk. That would be... Well, that might be dangerous. Yeah, I think the American public would have to say it. If that's true, I think the American public might have to consider some stuff. Because that's really scary. You know, we haven't... No country has ever used... No country's ever used one. Well, no country's ever used one. We used an atomic weapon during... they used an atomic weapon on Hiroshima But the ones we have, but the nuclear weapons we have now are nothing. Are a bomb in 100 years. You know, but an A bomb is completely different to a nuclear bomb. An atom bomb is hundreds of thousands of times less powerful. I wouldn't say the reputation, I'd say the world at this point. Yeah, I can't see that happening though, because there's too much to lose there. There's too much to lose there. No, but on that, if that's true, uranium, yeah, but an atom bomb is nothing compared to what they are. But if that happens, there would be a lot more afterwards. If that were to happen, you know, I think Europe would. Yeah, I think it would be bad. I think it would be bad for one country if they did that. Because I guarantee, I think Europe would probably cut most relations. Besides, a nuclear weapon was used in a surprise attack. Why would they announce it? I mean, I'm not going to make this joke, but the US has a president that half the time goes off script and rambles. That's a joke I said about Boris during the Second World War. That's a joke I said about Boris to a friend of mine when he was Prime Minister. I said if there was aliens, someone like Boris would just accidentally admit it. Europe would think that America is doing all. No. America has a lot of economic ties with Europe. If America were to do something silly, the UK would just turn around and pull the plug, which America would lose trillions because they've got trillions of pounds tied in European companies. I mean, the UK's out of the conversation. The UK hasn't been involved. Because the UK public don't really want to be involved. The UK public don't want to be involved, but it's also one of those. The British public haven't forgotten Afghanistan. Sorry, Iraq. The British public didn't like that they got pulled into Iraq, so that's why the UK are a little bit hesitant, because the UK got pulled into Iraq by America, and the UK public to this day don't like that they got pulled in. Why does people call my voice? I don't know. Can we ban Duffel from this channel? I have strongly considered it because of some of his comments. Because of some of his comments today, I have considered it. I understand he's going through a lot of sadness and grief, but it is totally wrong to take it out on other people. Besides, no one would use a nuclear weapon though, Skatepunk. No one would use a nuclear weapon. Like most people, most nuclear weapons are for deterrence. No one would willingly use one. Um, are nukes scary? Well, I mean, have you watched Threads? Have you watched Threads? Threads is a true story of what will happen if there's a nuke. I mean, I remember... Should the world get rid of their nukes? Well, I wouldn't say... The bombs. Getting rid of the bombs, yeah. Getting rid of the bombs, yeah. Like, 80 years ago, if you wanted to destroy a city, you needed 100,000, a million bombs. Now you can do it with one. Nuclear power is very, very useful. Nuclear power is very, very useful. But the bomb stuff, I don't think we need. Yeah, Threads. Threads is 100% what would happen if you detonate a nuclear bomb. The radiation, the radiation is absolutely... If you use a nuclear bomb, one of my favorite... Get rid of the politicians. You can't get rid of politicians, though. You can't get rid of politicians because you need someone to run it. What would happen if you got rid of all the politicians? Then some absolute maniac would come in because it would be anarchy. Why are guns in the world? Well, keep guns because guns are kind of useful. I don't agree with civs. I don't agree with citizens being able to carry them. I think there's the best thing about having a weapon. The best thing about having a weapon is not using it. A weapon is a good deterrent, but you don't have to use it. Why does Decepted think I'm 12? We need laws and rules in human society, yeah, because there would be no world without them. Order, there's got to be law and order. You can't have anything without law and order. We need laws and rules in human society. But like politicians, we need politicians because we need people to actually run it. We need people to run economies that actually know how to run economies. We need people to run governments that actually know how to do it. What you don't need is career politicians who change their opinion. Why does Deceptive think I'm 12? Because of sometimes the way you speak. Because of sometimes the way you speak, he basically thinks you don't sound like you're an adult. But yeah, to answer your question, Scape, but no, I don't think we need nuclear bombs, but I think nuclear power is useful. Like, nuclear power plants are useful. Imagine a world without laws. Well, a world without laws would be awful. A world without laws, there would be murders every week. Stealing would be everywhere. A week without laws, and someone would have launched a nuke because there's nothing stopping them from doing it. It would be anarchy, yeah, and anarchy is not a good thing, guys. Some people think anarchy is a good thing, but anarchy isn't good. A world without humans, though. A world without humans would just be, well, it would be similar to 200,000 years ago. I'm not saying that, but if we lived in anarchy, though, people could do what they want. I'm not saying we all have evil neighbours. I'm saying that if we had anarchy, nothing would stop your neighbour from legally walking into your house and taking whatever they want. But under the laws, they can't. But I'm not saying evils and laws, but laws are in place to help people. To help people and to basically keep the world at peace. If we didn't have laws, it'd be more like the Wild West. Yeah. 100%, it'd be like the Wild West. It'd be like the Wild West, except the Wild West had some sort of rules. but people just violated them. But it would be worse than that. You know, I could just, if we had no laws, I could just walk into Downing Street and declare myself Prime Minister. I would be unelected. I would thing, and I'd have the power to do whatever I wanted. With like, if we lived in an anarchy world, even worse than that. True, yeah. That's why we have laws and rules. Laws and rules aren't there to inhibit freedoms. They're there to encourage them. You know, you've got the freedom of your own house. You've got the freedom of your own house. You know, that's what the Magna Carta was. The Magna Carta was a document signing that have you guys ever heard of the Magna Carta? More so, I loved science, but I loved history as well. So have you guys heard of the Magna Carta? The Magna Carta is what modern republics are based on. The Magna Carta the Magna Carta is what modern law is based on. The Magna Carta was signed in 800 years, nearly 900 years ago. 800. The Magna Carta was signed 800 years ago, but it was a series of laws that people in the UK couldn't be arrested without trial. They could forage. They had freedom to forage. They had freedom to do all this stuff. It was a list of freedoms, and that's what the Magna Carta was. Basically, it was illegal to do certain stuff. You know, the kings of England before could basically charge you without a trial. The kings beforehand could basically arrest you without a trial. That's what the Magna Carta was brought in for, and basically modern law and modern customs are from the Magna Carta. And yeah, so anarchy scares me just as much as nuclear weapons. Who's here watched Planet of the Apes? Who here has watched Planet of the Apes, War of the Planet of the Apes? There's a line in that sums up what anarchy is. Those who haven't been killed by the virus will probably die in the fighting. 27 countries have declared martial law, including the United States and Canada. And then they say something along the lines of, whoever isn't killed by the virus will probably die in the fighting. Yeah. Did you get what I mean? There's a real good line in there. And he says something along the lines of, those who aren't killed by the virus will probably die in the fighting. And that's true. Because anarchy, if we went into an anarchy state, it would be us fighting over resources. If you have one bottle of water, and you got one barrel of water, you're gonna fight your neighbours over it. My ankle. But yeah, the film The Purge covers it as well. Yeah, V for Vendetta covers it as well. That's what V for Vendetta is. V for Vendetta is an anarchist that wants to take down a corrupt government. But that takes it from a different. Let's start Anarchy and Joe's chat, guys. Why don't we just make? Why don't to celebrate 10 years of my YouTube channel? Why don't I just make a realm? Why don't I just open a realm, and then we basically I just leave you to it, and it's basically we just do an Anarchy server. No rules, just everyone from themselves. Open a server. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for a little bit. No rules on Joe's server. Yeah, I might make a Minecraft server. I might make a Minecraft server for that. How about hello Silver Samson. Hello human. Welcome to the stream. Oh, we were going to build something, guys, but I've just been busy walking around. A server. Oh. Could do that, or I could make it so it's like a. I could make it so it's like a thing. I could make it so it's link only. I could make it so it's invite only. FFFFU, and so I do it for like channel members, but it's like I don't know, £2 or something. It's like £2, and then they can do whatever they want. But then if we do it for channel members, it means that you're not going to get hackers join it. Where are the people who were here the last time? I've got to be honest, I don't know. Guys, there might be a stream tomorrow, but I would like to crank out a book. I'm writing another book for a competition. And I want to have it finished at the end of the month. Specific people can join. But yeah, I'm thinking about we can make it. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. It's an idea that I'm thinking about. But we do have at the moment we do have a server on this world. On this realm. We have a realm on this world. Oh. Decepted because you're here. I made a mini game and I think you're going to love it. I made a mini game, Decepted, and I think you are going to absolutely love this one. This mini game that I have made, it is a parkour mini game. It's a parkour mini game. I made it yesterday on stream. Is it on an island? No, it's not. It's we have a bridge to it, but it's actually it's in the minigame area. It's not on an island. Nintendo Switch Legacy Console Edition. So the parkour game, you and an opponent, you have to hop from here to here, but you've got to try and get to those lights and turn them on. So it'd be like this. You've got to try and get there. If you fail, you've got to go back to the start. Show us the island. I do have an island. I do have a luxury island. But so we've turned the light on. Then you've got to go back because you've got to do it twice. But you're also at the same time battling an opponent. He does have an island. Decepted does have an island. Maybe we should find an island on here and just build a house, and it's called Decepted's Island. Then there is an island over there, but we'll go. I would say we'll go there in a minute, but I just want to get out of here first. I was worried we weren't going to find a place to build this, but it's slotted right in here like an absolute charm. Let me just grab my items. Going to keep that food on me, even though we are technically in peaceful mode right now. Gonna want those. I'm gonna want those torches as well. I think. Anything else? Nah. The game's called Watch Your Step. If someone says, "What am I thinking?" their account is getting blocked. But what am I thinking is a genuine quote. We should make Decepted an island because he clearly loves islands. No, Human's a different person, I think. 100%. $167 of you have watched this stream today. Great. Yeah, oh, I do apologise, my back's a little sore. You've come back from your coffin. Oh, I read that wrong then. I thought you said coffin, as in, you know, when you cough. The other guy in the stream. I don't think you were here when they were here. So, I want to head this way. That's the Stampy bedroom up there. I built Stampy's bedroom in my world because why not? Right, let's go through here. Right, let's go through here. This is just us. I know where we are. I 100% know where we are. We are. There's the island Decepted. We have an island called we have Builder's Island here. It's kind of big. I want to build some more stuff here. But it's designed to be my foot. Would you build a meme island? I don't know. We don't have many islands. This one's weird. This one's weird. It's only 2 blocks off the mainland here. It could technically, if I had to, I don't have 2 blurt blocks. I mean dirt blocks. If I had 2 dirt blocks, literally, it would be connected to the mainland. I love that. I love this place. I love this section here. The path. I love this house, to be honest. You can see the castle just there. Fun fact, fun fact, when we look at it now, the castle looks further away, but if I close there, it looks closer. Further away, closer. Further away, closer. It looks closer. There we go. Yeah, what are we doing, guys? Let's collect some snow. They're on another planet. I am on another planet sometimes. I write books about being on another planet. Which I love that, though. I love writing books about other planets. It's interesting. I can't... Unfortunately, our space system in the UK, our space system in the UK and the world has just not progressed enough in the last 50, 60 years. You know, they wanted to be able to land on Mars in like the 1980s. They've been saying that since the 1970s. Oh, we're going to land on Mars by 1985. We're going to land on Mars by 1995. We're going to land on Mars by 2005. We're going to land on Mars by 2015. We're going to land on Mars by 2025. We're going to land on Mars by 2025. We're going to land on Mars now by 2035. You know, they've said all that for the last, I don't know, Right, we're going to quickly go this way. I'm just going to clear up all this snow off here, guys. Because this snow will be useful for projects. Yeah, I just saw what Decepted sent to me. I did have a quick look when Duffel said that, and ironically, I remember reading that BBC article. Ironically, I did remember reading that BBC article, and I remember when Duffel put that picture up, I thought it looked familiar. But I do remember now seeing that article. Oh, my feet. Joe, words to describe him. Living, breathing human. Thank you. So, guys, I want to build some more mini games. Please, can you guys... Can you believe... I can't speak. Can you guys suggest some build ideas? Some minigame ideas. I want to build some more minigames this year. I want to build some more minigames this year that we can build on here. Build the Eiffel Tower. That would be a cool idea. Not a minigame though. That would be a cool idea, but it's not a minigame. Sonic the Hedgehog pixel art. We could do that. We could do that sometime. I'm alright at pixel art, guys. Would you like to see some of my pixel art on my ideas world, guys? A leapfrog minigame. I have got ideas for that. I will show you guys that because it's some. Oh, you meant for a minigame. But we can build pixel art. We've got some pixel art somewhere. It's at the bottom of the map. But I'm going to take a quick detour this way. This is a minigame idea I've had about boats. You got to shoot your opponent's boat. Over here we had another idea. This was me explaining how Minecraft Legacy Console Edition maps are. Goodbye, Dr. FFF, if you have a good rest of your day. This is a standard map. This is classic. Standards. This is a standard map. This is a medium map, and this is what a large map would be like on PS5 and Xbox One. This is kind of, so that's basically what this is what my Survival Legacy world looks like. This is what it would look like if it was on. It said bye, Joe, not bye. Oh, I thought he spelt it wrong because sometimes he spells things wrong. Well, I've got a build idea for that. I just need to work out where it is. This is just a cool build idea, guys. I don't know why. This is just a cool build idea. What do you guys think? I don't know what it's meant to be for. But, that's what I want. Talking about lily pads. It's Vamps. This was the idea for lily pads. It was about, it's meant to look like a fruit, it's meant to look like a soup bowl. And you've got little bits of, build Old Trafford Stadium. What about a gladiator arena? Ooh. I have got an idea for one of those. Well, I have, there it is. This was the idea for the gladiator arena. This was the design. I want to build one of those eventually. Thank you. We've got a few more designs, so These are some of the builds that... this is some of the other builds that we've got, guys. This was my design for the beautifier. This was my original design for the pet shop. Guys, what does this say? Does this say 4E or does this say 3-4? Does this say 3Y or 4E? This is my design for the police station on Survivor Legacy. Build a TARDIS. I want to build a TARDIS, but I want to build it so... I want to build the TARDIS in my Minecraft world, but I've got to make it look like it's bigger on the inside. Does it? We'll break that then. This was a building design. This was a build design that we had. I want to build this one. I still like this build design. Sorry, I still like this build design. This one here. This was one of my bank designs. I had many bank designs when I was designing my bank. This is actually in my world. This is a mini game area about how you swim. You've got to swim. Thank you. Bro farted so hard. It wasn't a fart, it was a sneeze. This was a creeper face, but you actually have to get into it to get into this like blocked area. This was me just coming up with some build ideas. What was this? I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Not clickbait. This was designed to be. This looks like a rocket, doesn't it? This looks kind of sciencey. That's not always the case though, it's Vamps. That's not always the case. This was a green screen. Hold on, I remember this. This was designed to be a green screen room. Can't remember what this was for. This was another attempt at a gladiator arena. This was my design for a... This was meant to be a aquarium. This is my designs for something I want to build in the end. In the end, I want to build a huge temple. I want to build a temple in the end eventually. I want to build a huge temple in the end. I can't remember what this was for. This was a clock tower. This was a clock tower design. Decepted also designed a clock tower in here. So this is Decepted's clock tower design. This was Decepted's clock tower design. Actually quite well decorated, and I think it even has a huge big bell on it. He even built a huge big golden bell. Bim bong, bim bong. Christopher Tennant was my favourite Doctor. Do you mean David Tennant? You've mixed the 10th Doctor and the 9th Doctor. The 10th Doctor and the 9th Doctor was called Christopher Eccleston. The 10th Doctor was called David Tennant. Well, they weren't called that. That was the actors' names. Bye, dude. Have a good rest of your day. These are just some designs, guys, for like shit I've made. But yeah, you can't talk to a dog though, it's Vamps. You can't talk to a dog. Dogs don't understand. But the owners, it's not the owner's fault. It's not the owner's fault, but half the time when you've got dogs, half the time they're poorly behaved. But it's partially the owner's fault for not training the dog better. But at some points they can't train animals. But that's like snakes. Hello, Sam Heddy, you're not new. You've been in the stream before. You're not new, Sam Heddy. I've seen you in the streams before. Why do I continue to play it? Just because there's so much more to do. I love this version. There it is. I wanted to do it. No, I haven't. Yeah, Sam Heddy, you've been on here before. I remember you being on the stream. Because I remember reading out your name. You think it's someone else? I'm not. There was another person called... There was someone called Sam Heddy with the same profile picture on the stream. But you've joined twice. You've joined twice before and thought you were new. But yeah. Yeah, you're not new. I remember you being on the stream because you asked me about what version of Minecraft this was. No, I don't think they're not Duffel. Which has been my favourite book to write so far? Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm. I remember now. Yeah. Welcome back. Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm, guys. Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm was really, really fun to write because it's like a detective story. Yeah, Duffel's had a bit of a wild one. I understand he's upset, but he can't take it out on other people in the stream. But he took it. He rejoined my Discord server earlier on, and basically told everybody to go fuck themselves. Was the Dollmaker fun to write? The Dollmaker was very, very fun to write. The Dollmaker was fun. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I've got a copy of the Dollmaker. Yes, on my desk. Oh, I love this. Actually, I can't read it out because it's chapter 5, guys. So they capture a guy, and they capture a killer, and he's very small. He's only like 5 foot. So they take the piss of him, and they call him some funny names. What? If this guy is a criminal mastermind, what ridiculous name should we call him? How about the Incy Wincy Abductor, Short Stack McGee, the Half Pint Nabber, or Midget Murderer, Alfie Bilbo? Let's call him Awful the Dwarful. Nah, we don't call him anything. We just pretend we can't see him. Any romance novels? Of course not. Yeah, they call him the Incy Wincy Abductor. They capture a guy and they call him the Incy Wincy Abductor. That was just me taking the piss. I must have been just sat there that night writing that, thinking, what the fuck am I writing? Let's put some jokes in it. Well, I wanted to put some jokes in it because it's a very dark story. I wanted to lighten it up at some points because, you know, it's a very dark story. So I thought we'd at least put some... This is my old bedroom on my survival world. So I thought we'd include some sort of some lighter moments. So the detective. So the detective is called Detective Nicholas Kane. Nicholas Kane goes to watch Manchester United play a match against Brentford, and in one of the early chapters. And that was me basically giving the detective something else to do. It was me giving him a little bit of a life. So yeah, the Dollmaker is the Dollmaker was very fun. I know the part you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, they call him the Incy Wincy Abductor and Short Stack McGee. You don't have a single book talking about couples or something. Well, you have Scoutina and Rackensaw in Archipelago, where they share a kiss. But I've just spoiled that bit. Shit. You have them. You have other characters in my stories, but I don't include that. I'm just down for the plot twist. Well, yeah, you have other people, so you have other people, but I So, for example, I haven't incorporated this yet, but in my Dawn of Planets series, Agent One is very bad. Doesn't really have any loved ones. He doesn't really have any relationships. But he can't. Because he can't offer them safety, because Agent One is such a character that he is running from thing to thing. He's fighting aliens all the time. He's trying to lead the Jeroboam agents. He's a character that brings so much danger to himself that, if he for a moment decides to have a relationship with someone, there is a chance that they will end up dead. That they will die. He will lead them to their deaths because of just who he is as a person. He has a target on his back. And I haven't incorporated that fact yet. And the idea was, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but the idea was Agent One meets somebody in a later book who is his one true, he is her one true love. And this girl, the idea was that she was going to end up dead. He is her one true love. And the idea was, which I haven't wrote it yet, so it might not happen, but the idea was that she was going to end up dead. But I might not do that. But the idea was that she was going to end up having a brutal death. That was the idea. But sometimes with stories, guys, you need things to happen. She should be abducted by the aliens. No, this is after the alien stuff. This is more that she's killed. This would have been after all the alien stuff. This would have been more that she was kidnapped to shut him up. As a warning. The character would have been killed as she wasn't going to be abducted by aliens, but she was in the idea that she was going to be killed. She was going to be killed because the guy who's the enemy doesn't want to kill him, but he wants to aim him with something. So killing her is basically like killing him. Like, what do you do with Star Wars? Anakin Skywalker has everything. He has his girl. So what does Palpatine do? Palpatine makes him believe that his wife's gonna die, and then he turns away from the Jedi in the hope of trying to save it. Gone like a wasted rapper. Well. She has her bones grinded into the dust. Yeah, but the Dollmaker is fun to write. But to answer the initial question, The Gathering Storm. The Gathering Storm was so fun to write because you have everything in it. You have murders. You have murders, disappearances, corruption, investigations, expositions. The Supreme. It is everything. I loved writing The Gathering Storm. Like the main character, Agent One, goes through hell. Like he's attacked by a. There's a guy in Dawn of Planets, The Gathering Storm. Agent One is attacked by someone. He's attacked by an assassin, and he chases the assassin across the rooftops. Agent One attacks. Agent One is attacked by an assassin in Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm. He chases the assassin across the rooftops. He corners the assassin, so the assassin just steps off the building and plummets to his death, rather than be captured. And then it comes out afterwards that the guy that's the assassin that he was chasing after was a 17-year-old kid that disappeared off the operating table for weight loss surgery. They might have been 16 actually. The assassin that they were capturing was a 16-year-old, 17 stone kid that disappeared off the operating table. Well, that was abducted off the operating table. Yeah, I like writing some of the dark stuff. Some of the dark stuff is like some of that dark stuff. If you're looking at like writing some forms of dark stuff, it's I don't know, to be honest. I'm back. If that was you, Duffel, why are you saying... If that image was you, why are you saying it's fat? Why were you saying you were fat? Because you're not fat. But the fat was a joke. Yeah. You lied, you're not fat. Well, no, I didn't lie, I am fat. I didn't lie, I am fat. This was a minigame idea. I can't remember what it was for though. I think the idea was you shoot an arrow. You try and hit your opponent with an arrow by shooting upwards. No, no, I am, damn Duffel. In a context. How was I said? If you're still live, we probably should be still live. I've got nothing ever better to do, guys, than stream. I'm sorry, I was drunk and sad. Sorry. No, I understand you're sad. I can tell you were that you were drunk. Yeah. But if you get what I mean, Duff, I know how sad you are. But what you did on my Discord server and in the stream was wrong. No matter how sad you are, you can't take it out on other people. There's a lot... Not everyone who watches these streams is going to understand that you are... what's happened to you. So a few of those people who are watching the stream will take it personally and think that you're being horrible to them. But yeah. Yeah. Can't remember what this was for. I honestly don't know what that's for. But yeah, I didn't lie, Duffel. I actually am fat. I'm well over £200. So I am, in a context, overweight. I'm sorry, I was drunken before and sad. I know, you just said. There was a reason for this build. Can you show Decepted? I think Decepted's on the stream. Yeah. Yeah, Decepted only thought you were 12 because he saw a video on your YouTube channel and it's whoever's video that was sounded very, very young. And also the way that you would sometimes speak didn't sound like someone that was 18. Oh, my foot. My foot is sore. But I think Decepted's still on the stream. I think that's meant to be Spider-Man. That wasn't intended to be Spider-Man. It was your cousin. Yeah. Why did you upload your cousin's video out of curiosity? Yeah, if you get what I mean, people are going to think that's your video because you uploaded it to your YouTube channel. No, I understand that. Yeah, I could understand that you were drunk yesterday when you said you didn't know what the word. Can you unban me from the Discord? Then say sorry, then ban me. So he wanted me to do it. That's just strange. Why would you film a YouTube video if you don't have a YouTube channel? That's just a very odd concept. I find that odd, but I don't know why. I don't know why. I kind of want to build that. I kind of want to build this. Oh. He did, but his mum told him off. Well, that's common sense though, because you shouldn't have YouTube if you're under the age of 13. That's why Decepted thought you were 12. That's why Decepted thought you were 12, because of that video. Happy Halloween, guys. That's from about 10. That's from about 8 years ago now. I want to build something, but I just can't think of what to build on here. Oh my god. My knee. I want to build a house. I don't know. Out of... What build should I build? I don't know. I want some minigame ideas, guys. I just can't think of anything. Oh my god. I want to build some sort of minigame idea. There we go. Right. Fine. There we go. You can now apologise to everyone in there. Hold on. These villagers, are they doing something weird again? Yes, they are. Look, they're not even on the track. Look, they're floating. Ooh. There you go. You can now apologise to them. There you go. Now, I'm sort of trying to do some other stuff at the same time. I can't see how many people are watching this stream. This is just so weird. A second. Give me a second. Sorry, Decepted? I've watched Adolescence. Adolescence was good. I enjoyed that. Well, it's a horrifying show, but it was well writ. I'm trying to think of some minigame ideas. I'm just absolutely out of ideas right now. This was an idea. This was a TNT idea. This was an idea on the TNT show. I'm confused. I'm ultra confused. Basically, Decepted, because you're in the stream, it says God bless you has joined the VC. He's in it, but then it says he's not in the VC. He's in the VC, but not in the VC on the screenshot, which is kind of weird. How many consoles do you have? Wii U, Switch, and then I have the original Wii. I mean, a PC is not a console. A PC is not a console, to be honest. They break over the air, yeah. Well, tablets aren't consoles. Yeah, tablets, Android tablets and PCs aren't consoles. Consoles are only things like, you know, Sega Mega Drives, Nintendo Switches, Xbox 360s, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Those are consoles. They're designed to play video games specifically. That's what a console is. Android tablets weren't designed to do that. That's why they're not classed as consoles. PCs are basically computers. They aren't consoles. Shit, I've lost where I am. Let's pop off this world and let's go on to survival. Into a survival world. We're almost at 200 views, just over 200 views on this stream, so thank you guys. I'm going to end the stream in a second, so I would like to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.